everyone, and welcome back to this month's Sketchbook Chronicle video. This is for April's edition. The following sketches came from a conversation with a colleague of mine about a design proposal for a factory, which will be for the Burberry project that I've mentioned in previous videos, but I will do a more in-depth video about the project from start to finish. These are just some quick ideas that we had about the structure, because on site there is currently an existing Egyptian style building, and there's a lot of land at the back of the building which they were intending to use as well. But they didn't want to have a building that overshadows the Egyptian building. So we were thinking about using the topography of the land rather than building up, build down on like different levels. So land forming in a way. So here we're just going over some structural ideas and making sure there's a lot of light, even though we are building down, not up, but we're not building underneath the ground. This is just a quick diagram about the manufacturing storage of the process that the company relayed to us. We were trying to put it on a grid format and see how it would work like that, and how that would then dictate the project itself, or the design rather. I'm very good at switching around on pages. Again, this is just, let's see if I can zoom in, it might be better for this. Yeah. It's just, again, working out the factory scale and how the storage solutions would be in terms of an elevation as opposed to plan. And then this side is just about manufacturing landscapes. It's sort of a concept we came up with, which basically means the building itself would actually form landforms and have the obvious views and things, and again more structural, and just working out the topography and the design itself. Then again we went back into elevations and sections to try and, because you can't really design in plan, you need to design either in 3D or in section. There's an architect somewhere famously that said it's better to design in section than any other form of design visualization, because you get a better understanding of the different levels and the different heights and all the other things that come together, such as the staircases and the lifts and the roof, etc., and how it touches the ground. So again, we were just having a discussion about land forming and how the roof would actually interlock with the ground and touch the ground itself, and then sort of just out but not too much. And then we were discussing that levels are the key to this entire design. Then we were also talking about, there's a particular junction in between the site, which is what we've nicknamed the Grand Junction, which is we're not allowed to touch it, but at the same time we're allowed to build over it. So it's how we're going to join the new build to the old build. So that's how we were discussing, that's supposed to be representative of the current build and then the new build there. And then again, we're working with different ways of how we're going to design this, with anchored sort of columns and rows, where how the light's going to intersect into the building, and how the process of the actual manufacturing process is going to be on different levels of the building. So from raw materials to the next step, etc., and then the output back into the public domain. Then again, another idea of land forming and pinning trying to work out the structures and how it would work together. Then again, more manufacturing landscapes and just working out how it would look. And we were discussing these floating planes, but then trying to work out how they'll be hold up. So we would work underground slightly, but then just have maybe one, not even one story. It was going to be more like half a story high. So maybe like maximum 1800 millimeters. So that's about the size of a tall human, a 6-foot human. Well, no, actually, it's the size of a door frame. And then we were going to use the light and have those as paths. So the light would actually form paths onto this sort of garden for the staff and workers to actually use. And then we were discussing how we would actually sort of pinch the land and pull it up. And then we got into the conversation of how we could cantilever these things in, rather than having flat land, have it sort of sticking out of the ground, and just working out how the life would come in. And then on about the 7-tooth roof formation, and then thinking about how it would be repetitive, which is very much like mass manufacturing is. And then this diagram's just about trying to work out how the flat roof idea could possibly work, and then how much open space that would bring into the factory as well, without having columns in the middle, which the current build has a lot of columns. So one of the specifications is for it to be as much open plan as it possibly could be. So we were thinking about sort of a table leg design. But all these diagrams, sketches, were made from while a conversation was being held between two people, myself and somebody else. And these were just very quick sort of ideas, but it just helps trying to explain and visualize before the next step moves on and before any ideas have been finalized. That's all that there is for this month in regards to the Sketchbook Chronicles. So yeah, I hope you found this of some use and I didn't ramble or talk too fast, because I'm trying to speak off script for once rather than sounding like a dead robot. So hopefully I sound a little bit more like a human today. But yeah, let me know if you prefer this or if you prefer me speaking like a robot. Some of you might. But yeah, thanks for watching, and in the meantime, happy architecting!